which I can't wait to do. Honestly, I can't wait to have that barbarian on the warlock account leveled up just so that I can switch to tank and not have this issue of waiting so long for a dungeon or skirmish or trial. I want to do trials. I've been dying to do trials.
Brad said, "Can't say I blame you after playing for so long. It's like you gotta chill."
yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you. Deep in Neverwinter woods lies the ruins of Old Sharandar. Yeah, Protector's Enclave coming up. Apparently that's where I left off. Unless I was in Stronghold or something. Dread Ring is an ancient arcane structure. The Red Wizards of Thay hope to restore dark rituals. Oh, I forgot. Today is the start of a new weekly.
We're glad you've joined. Well.
Oh, let's grab that too.
During the...
Alright, so let's go ahead and... Actually, we should do a quick invocation. We just did that. And then go to the inventory. Grab the VIP bags. See, we're full up in the inventory or not? Yes, we are. Very badly full up. Make some space before we play. Open up the bag. Other bag over here.
Oxhour Brad said, "You wanted to run a trial."
Oh yeah, so I wanted to run a trial, I think it was yesterday, and I was queued up for longer than an hour or something, and I gave up. I said, that's it. And in that case, I was as the healer, I was as the warlock, I was the healer, and they asked for a healer. So, you know how trials are, you end up with a group of 10, and they ask for 2 different healers, right? So they were probably waiting for another healer. So either way, it wouldn't pop. You know, like I waited, and I kept checking back, looking, hoping, but it wouldn't pop. So my point is that that's just too long to wait, at least for me. You know, Q asking for tanks, so let's go in for a skirmish. Because, and the reason why I did it, the reason why I wanted to was because for the last couple of days I got under 70,000 with both characters, somewhere in the 60s, and I thought, you know, maybe it's about time I start running the higher ones to get some. So I decided, no, I tried actually to get into a dungeon or whatever, and I said, no, let me just go ahead, and I got a dungeon as a healer or something like that really quick, the lower one. So I went with that, and then for the trial I said, okay, let me just do the trials on the harder one. That way it'll even out the score. I'll get over 70. But it didn't work out that way. So I'm back to just, you know, well, it depends. I'm sure I'll try again on a day that I get to start early and I have the flexibility. But for right now, I'll just get what I can get. Hey, look at that. Trick or treat one more time here. Oh, we wait for the skirmish. We could also look at the dungeons, I mean the queues, and see if the bottom one changes to... So now the skirmish is not even popping. Skirmishes generally pop pretty quick, but since it has no specific requirement, sometimes it doesn't.
Oxhour Brad said, "I am work super hard to get my tank set up and we can queue together."
That would be awesome. I would certainly like that. Could be the tank healer dynamic duo. Let's see. There, let's see. Maybe I have a legacy. What I should be doing is going to the stronghold and picking up the basic dungeons, even the one from the cleric, to like.
Hey, it's Rex Ranger reminding you that your follow makes this TV gamer happy.
When you finish the dungeons and skirmishes, but I don't want to switch. Oh, there it goes. It popped. Great. Because sometimes when you're trying to switch to the stronghold, it takes a while, and then in that while, your skirmish pops. But then it takes so long to actually get to the stronghold that they knock you out of the skirmish, out of the queue. So sometimes I don't like switching, even though it'd be beneficial, because I don't want to get knocked out of the queue. Alright, maybe we can sell here. Oh, but it was the warlock that had a bunch of things to sell. But let's see what we got to sell. Bum, 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 bum. We just organized this, so it must be at the bottom. Nothing at the bottom. We got these crowns.
Brad said, that S happened to me.
Yeah. For me, it seems to happen quite often. So I try sometimes not to do it. Inventory, let's see. I saw something that I could refine. That was a jewel of some sort. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? I did see it. I gotta fix my inventory big time, but in time. Where was it? Oh, I saw a jewel. There it is. Jeez, that took a long time. So what is this? Is this 7 VIP? 7 days of free VIP for that. So I was looking to see if I had that. I used it up with the warlock when I lost the VIP, but I lost that too. Point. Dread ring. Woo! Hey, is that the same tank? No, it's not the same name, I don't think. Let's go. Power up yourself and your companions by refining enchantments and artifacts. Doo-doo-doo.
Rise, my dread legion. Rise and kill these fools.
Guys, Saja Mulg is so rude. We charge our Avernus trinket. Hard hit there. Boom. Charge our daily again. Nice. Alright. Try to grab a group. Call in Pegasus. There we go. Yeah, so the biggest difference between the Cleric being my main and the Warlock not being my main is that I finished all the campaigns and all the boons, unless there's a current boon that I haven't looked at for some reason, but I mean at least everything in the past, and I haven't done that with the Warlock, but I'm going to try to do that now with the Warlock. But the other difference is that before the big change of enchantments, I had pretty much gotten like all kinds of maxed out enchantments on the Cleric, and I did not have that many, but I was getting close to with the Warlock. So when the big change happened, and then I had to spend like whatever 30 million Astro Diamonds that I must have had at the time, to just try to recoup some sense of what I had before, I couldn't do it with what one character had. So it took both characters full of almost everything maxed in enchantments to get me with the trade-in value enough for the Cleric to get everything, all the enchantments, at least most of them, back to max. And that includes not just the trade-in, but also using the 30 million of Astro Diamonds. I mean, I went from 30 million to 0 in one day, and then and so that's a big difference. One has completed all the campaigns, the other one hasn't, and the other one has the max level, most of the enchantments max level, um, and that's courtesy of the other one's sacrifice, and so that's kind of what makes my cleric main, is that if push comes to shove, like in a situation like that, the cleric's gonna get the benefit of whatever I can muster with both, rather than the other one. And that's just mostly sentimental, because it's been my main. I do. There's times that I guess I've gotten spoiled with the warlock, the way it moves. That I used to not find it frustrating to slide around like the cleric does, but now I do.
I'd cry if I had to do that.
I quit for. I didn't quit. I stopped playing regularly, probably for the first time since it came out on PlayStation. Maybe for about 2 weeks. I would check in. I would like get depressed again. I would like, if I had VIP, I'd grab my bags, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna be back when this thing gets fixed. It's basically what I did. And yeah, so I started. To my credit, I started playing again regularly way before everything was truly fixed. But which was really, I guess, it turned out bad for me in the sense that they ended up, and that's I guess a bad thing about not paying attention to what's going on with PC, because by the time it was happening on PlayStation, if I had read what was going on with PC, I would have known to wait, that I would have been able to use I would have been able to get credit for more of the enchantments that I had at a better rate, and not spend as much astronomicals as I did and all that kind of stuff. But I was like, instead of like complaining, generally what I do is I just always accept. Okay, so this is the way the game is played now, right? So I try to make the best of it, whichever way I can. And in that sense, I was like, okay, well, if that's the way that the game is played, I'm going to concentrate on my cleric. And everything that I was able to muster with the warlock, it was like passed over to the cleric. And it was like, okay, but whatever. Then slowly but surely, all the different corrections that they did in PC started coming to the PlayStation, and where at first you could only get like a credit, like a sort of a medallion for the enchantments that you had before. Then they started only if you had like a top tier enchantment you could get a medallion. Then they started adding medallions for like lower tier enchantments and other things that added up a little better. And I can't remember the amount of different things, but a lot of different things happened in an attempt to correct. And then at the other hand, there's also the aspect of that what they did ultimately is pretty cool, because I would have probably never made other types of characters like the fighter or the barbarian if it wasn't for, okay, well now when you have a top tier, you can share that top tier enchantment amongst all your tunes on the same account. So it's like, oh, okay, like we were talking about this paladin we were seeing before, that they were 59th level and we were 59k level, and we were thinking that they were probably 1220. Let's take that. Thank the group. They were probably the first time playing the dungeon, but they were, a pretty high level. I mean, my warlock is the same level. Get out of that. See if they have a dungeon for a healer. So yeah, that was nuts. But it is what it is. And the improvement was good. Like I say, like now I got to play different characters I would have never played. Of course, I'm kind of doing it because I want to be able to get in dungeons quicker. Sort of my incentive there, but still. I wouldn't have been able to do it as easily, say, if those characters, to be able to play a dungeon better, I would have to go in as a lot lower level, so Loading Protector's Enclave. If there's not a healer dungeon immediately, I'm going to switch over to the tank. Let's see. First, let's change to healer.
Oxhour Brad
there.
said. True.
Okay, so there isn't. I'm going to switch over to the tank. We bring out Don W. Oofgood. W. For Willow, that old movie, which is one of my favorites. As you grow more powerful, you will unlock powers and feats. How many feet? Run fast if you have 10 feet. If your inventory starts to fill up, you should visit a vendor and sell some items. If you come across anything particularly valuable, though, you may wish to use the auction house and Protector's Enclave instead. Or go to the menu and go to the auction house there. Most monsters are aggressive and will attack you if they notice you. Boy, didn't we find that out tonight. All over the neighborhood. Trick or treat! Campaigns are high-level adventure zones. You take on repeatable quests, earn powerful treasures.
Oxhour Brad said. Well, that skirmish capped me for the day. Now to build up tomorrow's cap.
Yep, nice. Let's see, we can go into here. Do it. I think we have a... bag we can pick up for VIP. Yeah, there we go. Should we find some stuff? What's this? Oh, findable. Or sellable rather, so that's why I don't refine it. What else? Open this bag. Out of the way. Oh, we can do a quick invocation. Nice. Go trick-or-treating one last time around here. Trick-or-treat this guy. Masquerade Illusionist. Pumpkins available? Maybe I have someone to turn in. See about that. Maybe. Nope. Oh, here. This.
Greetings.
Waiting for a queue. So I queued up as a tank. Now it should say that it's waiting for a healer. Let's see. No, it's not. Why is it still saying that's... Am I not a tank? Maybe that's the problem? Character sheet. I'm not a tank! What a dummy. Let's get out of that queue.
Oxhour
That's a
Brad
problem.
said. A part of me wants to try healing on the paladin, but that's so much other gear I'd have to get.
It's that big of a difference on the gear. Well, I mean, maybe. Now I'm in as a tank, right? Let's make sure. Yeah, see, now they're asking for a healer. I mean, there's not that many options, at least from what I've seen. Playing healer DPS. Well, yeah, I guess there's a bigger difference with the tank. Let me see what other gear I can get for the barbarian. Already capped there. I should have gotten some before switch over. Maybe I can grab some before the dungeon is over from the Seals Trader, so that I will get credit for this dungeon. Fangbreaker Island.
Hey, it's Rex Razor letting you know that your follow makes
looks
this
like we're a
Digi gamer
replacement.
happy.
Okay. That's nice. They're gonna wait for me for a second because I need to VIP grab something from the seals trader. I'm gonna grab
Brad
say
said, almost everything I have is just
this for the
defense
barbarian.
stats.
Perfect. Oh, okay. Which is not bad for the healer, you know, you need a lot of defense stats for the healer too. So that you can, you know, the healer needs to stay around for the entire team. So I wonder if they're their tank left, or if their tank was kicked out. She's gonna come back at me. Yeah, there she goes. That initial push, I wasn't pushed. Pretty cool. I didn't know I could do that. Calling Pegasus for the assist. Let's sit right down here. Uh-oh, she's gonna do her thing. We have no ice. Uh-oh. I'm gonna just sit right in front of her. Alright, call for help. Oh, so this is the problem that they had. Oh, somebody revived them. Awesome. Let's do one of these. Hunker down. Aggro again and hunker down. Alright, calling Pegasus for the assist. Hunker down. And then do some more aggroing and hunker down again. Oh, she went right through me. Nice. Here she comes. Hunker down. I love playing the paladin sometimes. He's just awesome. Uh-oh, what's happening? I get hit hard. Oh no, I'm in the ice. Not good. Somebody break me out, please. Awesome. Alright, hunker down.
Brad said,
Did I say
Fighter
paladin?
just
I meant
looks so better
tank.
as a tank.
I mean, I played the paladin a little bit, but I haven't played it like
So powerful.
nearly as much as
I'm amazed Makos was able to hold her for so long.
nearly as much as the fighter. So I don't really know.
We owe a debt to Makos. He was brave.
That was awesome. I mean, it felt good, and that was like a quick. Oh, and this feels good. We got rewarded handsomely. 10,000 extra Astro Diamonds plus 7,772. 17,772 Astro Diamonds. Lovely. And we don't have an ancient runic key with this character for sure. Well, we like to check anyways. Well, we don't, but we like to check. Storm King Thunder. There's the ancient runic key.
Said, I.
Let's see if we. Well, obviously there was other people playing before, so we only got to play that last part. That's pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. That was a fun little adventure tanking Droofy. Oh, I should have said thank you here to the group. Alright, let's move on over. So I'm trying to get so the only character I have out of all the characters I have is that can get gear that a barbarian can use is this fighter. So I'm trying to get the gear so that as soon as the barbarian is level 20, I'm able to just give it all to the barbarian, and that way she'll be ready, at least with what is it, 16k gear on that from the seals trader. So that's why I stopped before I went into with the group and got one piece of equipment, so I would get credit for this dungeon and not throw away the seals. Monsters are aggressive and will attack you. They notice you. We're back at we should be capped again, I think.
Said, smart, I was just gonna grind everything.
Oh, just 90. Yeah. So the only thing is, I mean, I think from what it sounds like, you're getting a lot of astronomers per day, or at least you're doing your dungeons. While you got to grind this, like I just got 90 for this, because right, it depleted when I checked right now, and I got that one piece of equipment for 40 or 400 rather. I got 90 for that dungeon. So that would be a grind. But if you don't want to go through all that, you know, there's also using Astrodiamonds in the trade house. I'm pretty certain like most of the 600 levels, 1600 level stuff. So you go to, let's say you want a headpiece. You change this, you change the item level minimum to 1600. And then right off the bat, you say buy out here on the top right. And see, headpiece is 1600. So 2,999 may not be a lot if you're getting daily dungeons. And you can pretty much equip your, so what's that, 10 times, I mean 3 times, so like for 30,000 Astrodiamonds you could probably equip your entire character. I mean obviously if they're at this low, but more or less. Without having to actually wait for the dungeons, and all it takes to get that much Astrodiamonds is just one dungeon. So you know, that's a quicker way to put the equipment.
Said, that S so cheap, what the heck, I could
Right. So what normally happens is like when a mod is brand new, that equipment will sell for a lot more because it just happened. So it takes people a while to run the dungeons to be able to have enough seals to equip their own character. But once they equip their own character, then they end up getting more equipment, and whatever they don't need, they put into the auction house. And then after a while, and I think we're at the tail end. I believe in November something, there's a new mod coming out, and I might be thinking PC. I'm not 100% clear, but the point is we've been in this mod for a while, so it becomes a lot cheaper mid-range and towards the tail end. And the thing is that this equipment is not going to be far off the mainstream in the next mod. They always, essentially, to run the next mod effectively, generally speaking, you need this gear, which is at 1700 level, right? But you know, this is only 100 behind. And so either one of these two, you pretty much can do whatever they've set up for the next one, because they know nobody has whatever they're setting up new, right?
Brad said, wait, so the seals gear changes?
Yeah. So what'll happen is, usually the wild will go away or will be on some other sub menu, and then the north will go down a notch. But usually they replace both of these with whatever the new gear is. So there'll be a high gear and a low gear, and the 1700 that you have now, or even 1800, right? So I don't have any 1800 here, but I believe what you get from the dragon thing, let me see what level it is. It might be 1800. I have a little bit of 1800 on my Cleric
Got dragon parts?
from Dragonbone Vale, but let's see what this is. This is 1650, you see? And then this one is 1850, right? So it's going to be some kind of tiered thing. So this is the newest, right? According to what things have come out. So 1850 you're talking about, right? So the next thing is probably maybe going to be like 1750s or something, or whatever the case may be, for the low tier. It might be 1700 for the low tier, or maybe like a 1750 or something like that. But 1800 will likely, or 1750 or 1800 will likely be like the lower one on the seals, and the higher one might be 1900. So, but even then, so like if you start the new mod, and even if you don't do any of the mod, you just go run your Dungeons and Skirmishes. Your Dungeons and Skirmishes, the queues, these two lower ones are always good for the lower tier seal. Lower tier seal not being anything bad, meaning whatever the mainstream is, the 100 less, right? And these two have the whatever the other seal is there, that little fiery bird looking thing in the green. These are the 1700 seals. So you could just run Dungeons and Skirmishes and equip, but of course it'll take you running the Dungeons and Skirmishes. Like in this case, I only got 90 for doing that. So it takes you a little bit, you know. But either way, if you're running them anyways for Astro Diamonds, you're good. And as soon as you get them, you'll also run into the thing of, oh, I can get more. But one of the important things is to like never let them cap. Right? Because you could always sell and get more Astro Diamonds.
I should deck my tunes out, then I was buying ad with seals since I already got my paladin in the gear.
There you go. There you go, yeah. So the one thing to always try to not let this cap, this 800, because it caps at 1200. So let's say you got all your gear and you keep running Dungeons and Skirmishes. If you let that be 1200 the whole time, like you're letting whatever that dungeon seals that they would give you go to waste, because you could always just buy a bunch of random stuff and put it on the auction house, right? And sometimes it doesn't sell. Like if it doesn't sell, like the more people have stuff, the least it'll sell. But as soon as it comes off, I put it back on, and usually all this stuff sells. Like at the beginning though, I was getting like close to like 50,000 for this gear, you know, because once I outfitted my character, I would just put it on there continuously and it would sell like right away, right? Because people were not willing, you know, whoever, let's say, is a new player or somebody who, like, you know, whatever, everybody can't play daily, you know, and I get that, right? So what ends up happening is you get in and say, oh, okay, a couple of weeks went by, let me see what's the new gear. Oh, you know what, I'll just buy it off because they got stored Astro Diamonds. So yeah, and they don't mind, you know, getting it at premium, because obviously I kind of do mind getting it at premium. That's why I run my Dungeons and Skirmishes and use my seals until I get it, because, you know, as you know, we all work very hard for our Astro Diamonds. So let's do a quick invocation here. Looks like we need to go into buy one of these. Now we can do an invocation. Alright, Brad. I hope you're having a good one, and I hope to see you soon. I'm going to hit the hay. Get ready for tomorrow.